Hello and welcome back to the fourth section of our tutorial on Saelig. The hell wrong me. In this episode, we'll be looking into owning not bunkhouses, but buildings, mostly huts and houses for rent, and how you're supposed to set this up for rental and make some money out of it. Now, there's two options, of course, to make money in this game. You get, or three actually, technically speaking, but two mostly. You can own businesses like the corral or the alehouse, or you can own huts and houses and rent those out to people that want to live and work in the village. And of course the third one is to simply go outside the village and just harvest whatever the hell you want. You can also loot corpses from raiders and so on, but that's not really the best way to make money. Anyways, this episode we'll be looking into how we can acquire and how we can rent out houses. So the first thing you want to do is buy a new house. So we'll go to the for sale section, the buy new button. We'll go to homes, and then we'll look for a house or a hut that we can buy. And in this case, there's a whole bunch of houses and, well, not any houses, but lots of huts that we can sell. So we want to have, because we're stuck in the village of Atterkop, we would like to have a house or a hut here. Now we can buy houses and huts elsewhere, for instance in the villages next door, but we want to do that here instead. So we were looking for a house or a hut that we can buy in this village. Now this is the Atterkop. So let's go to homes and let's select a hut. Let's see, this is hut over here, costs 900 silver. So we'll buy that one. So we'll buy it. Yes. Now you can also of course rent out this house of yourself if you want to. You will of course have to pay a certain fee per day. It will cost you 45 silver per day. You won't have control of the building, but you will have somewhere to sleep and to store your items. You will also be able to request upgrades for the building for increased rent. So we don't want to rent it. We just want to buy it. So we'll just go to this hut, Atterkop, and we'll instead use the buy button to buy it. You can also of course develop it if you want to. So we'll just buy it right away. So it's going to cost us 900 coin. As you can see. Now, did we purchase anything else? No, we did not. So let's go to this hut. So this is the hut that we own now. There are of course options to build your own huts. You just select a small plot, for instance. You add some wood to it, and then you will be able to develop it. We'll look into that in the next episode of the tutorial, but for now let's just focus on rental instead. So we have our hut. And if we wanted to rent it out, so you have a couple options. You can either live here, set as active house. So if you press this button, you will now live in this hut. This will be your hut to live in. Let's just actually move into my house. Let's just relax in my house right now. Alright, so our new purchased hut is now available in our little screen over on the right. So here we can see which all of our assets are and what we want to do with them. We can double click them and then we'll bring it directly to the hut that we have. We can also double click the image and that will also bring us to the same object. So next up, we can rent out this building. So you have the upgrades, you have the rental management, and you have the building development, and you have information. So because we don't have anything with this hut at the moment, and it's at the lowest rental price of 45 silver, there's also no way to improve or increase that rental, because that's the maximum rental we want, but we want to make money off of this. So rent is automatically increased when the building value increased. We already have a tenant in this building. It is currently being being rented by let's see, who's the owner? That's me, and the residents and workers and stuff is Balmund, his wife Ethelgithia, their child Shelley, probably a daughter, and their daughter Baldwin. I'm not quite sure who these people are. You can then evict them if you wanted to. We don't want to do that at the moment. They instantly moved into one of my houses. As soon as I bought it, they moved in. All right, well, fine. Let's actually upgrade it. I want to increase my rental income for this house. So the first thing I'm going to do is upgrade. Now this is going to cost me a little bit. So small fires, we can of course upgrade the building with a small fire. We can do this with better beds. Or you can do this with a workbench or a tanning rack. And we can also increase the quality of the wattle and daub. Now this will increase the basically the damage reduction that the game gets, of the building gets when it gets attacked by either a raider or thieves, whatever. So it doesn't burn as fast. We can also put a garden here where they will be able to harvest some fruit and vegetables, maybe even some eggs, all year round. They won't actually have to go out and look for something. This is useful if you are if you want to stay in a village where there aren't that many items or wild forageable areas in the neighborhood. Then a garden is actually kind of useful. Nobody else can harvest anything from your garden, only you can. So the first thing we want to do is put a small fire in here. So let's go put a small fire. That instantly costs us 300 for that small fire, but it now has increased our rental income to 60 silver, which is quite nice. So we'll do that again. We'll put in either a workbench or a tanning rack. We'll put a tanning rack in here as well. Boop. So now our rental income should be 76 silver. I want to see if I can get it up to over 100. So let's go ahead and put in a better beds. Boop. Now this is going to cost us quite a bit, and the amount of rent that we get from it is not that great. So 118 silver, so we want that. So that's done. So now this family that lives here, this Baldmund and Ethelgitha, yeah, whatever, and Shelley, they will have to pay me a total of 118 silver a day to be able to stay in my little hut here. Now we can also see that in our property view. So we have 118 silver in rental income to be received at 12 a.m. every day from now on. Now the problem, of course, is that anybody can live in this hut, but they can also leave it whenever they feel like it. So the chances of you actually making anything with this money is kind of low. Now, of course, you can. This is a passive income, so you don't actually have to do anything with these huts. You just have to protect them, make sure that they stay safe, they don't get robbed, and the people that live in it are as happy as they possibly can be. Because if they become a little bit depressed, one of them gets sick, or they simply don't have any work anymore, they will leave the village, and including that, leave your hut. So you won't have any income then. So you want to diversify as much as possible. So having a business and a couple of houses for rent is probably the best solution. You don't want to rely on just your houses for income, but you can, of course, you can. Usually you want to make sure that the amount of income that you get from your rental is higher than the amount of taxes that you have to pay. So we want to keep going with that. So let's go ahead and buy another house. Let's see, which one can we go? Let's go to the buy new buildings, homes, and this time around I would like to buy a house. So I'll buy a house in the Abercombe region. It's going to cost me 2,500 silver. I don't have that, so there's no way I'm going to be able to afford it. So we'll buy a hut instead. Let's go buy another hut in the Abercombe region here, and let's say, okay, is anybody living here? I don't think so. No, nobody's living here. We'll buy it straight away. Purchase for 900 coin. Perfect. So now we have the second hut. This one is being rented. This one is for rent, because we can, of course, retract the rental if we want to. Retracting the rental means that this building is no longer available for rent. You can also now sell the building if you want to. You can try and sell your hut to someone else for 900 silver, or you can sell it directly to the back of the town for 450 silver. Now, selling it to the back of the town is actually kind of a loss, so you don't want to do that. So you can set up a sale. Then you'll have to wait for somebody with actual money to come around and say that they want to keep that hut for themselves, and then they'll buy it off of you. Now, there is, of course, no guarantee that somebody will actually come and buy it, so sometimes you'll be stuck with a house for sale for quite a bit of time. So we want to keep renting it out. We don't want to live in it ourselves, because we already have a house of our own. Let's go ahead and let's see. Can we build building developments? So yeah, that's something that we can also try. I'll look at that. We'll show you that in a bit. Let's see. We only have 700 silver left. Let's build a small fire here, and let's also build a workbench. Let's see if we can get that rental income as high as possible, and then let's put it up for rental management. Blah blah. 76 silver. Beautiful. And now we have to pay 80 silver per day at 1 a.m. In taxes to the government, or to the king, basically, until we have a better standing. So we will make currently 118 silver a day, minus the 80 silver. So like around maybe 30 silver each day, which isn't much. So you want to make sure that the best solution, of course, to make money in the beginning is to get a business instead. and then work that business. Now, of course, now that we have some rental income, we are safe. We don't have to pay taxes anymore. We're paying taxes. Those taxes over all 3 houses are now being paid by one single rental house for 118 silver. So we are safe, and we can go ahead and do whatever the hell we want. We can go work somewhere. We can get a job, find a job, and we can request a job, and that job would then be given to us eventually. So work, you have been hired at the field. So show me, which field am I hired at? This field. This is where I'm working now. So let's go over here. Let's see, am I actually moving? Where am I? Oh yeah, there I am. I am now heading over to my new job, and I'll be working there for the remaining period of time. I don't necessarily need to stay there all the time. I can, of course, go somewhere else and work somewhere else. I can also just simply quit working there. Now, that will, of course, reduce the by standing with the owner. So that's not really the best thing you want to do. Work request, you've been sent word that you are looking for work and someone has answered. You have been given a job at the field in Abercombe. Now, Abercombe is pretty far away. It's all the way over there. So I'm not quite sure if we want to keep working there. That's going to be kind of difficult, particularly since we have to then all move over there every day and do our thing. If we had a horse, that'd be a little bit easier, but no, I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on this. So it's all the way over here. Where am I? Let's see if I can actually see myself. No, I don't see my little icon. So I must still be on the road somewhere. Usually... No, there I am. I'm not even anywhere near the work yet. I'm gonna get fired the first day. I'm still on the road, and I haven't even reached my job yet, and I haven't done anything. So my boss is gonna probably get really pissed at me. So, why are you late? I left at exactly the right moment, and then you hired me from 3 villages away. Let's speed up a bit. Right, now that we have these 2 houses, they're being rented. This hut over here is still not available for rent yet. Let's go ahead and set it up for rental. We also have the option to develop it. So let's go to the development building. So if we want to, because we have a hut of our own, there's 2 different versions. Let's begin there first. There's 2 land plots. You have the small plot, and you have a large plot. I don't think there's any large plots available here. Maybe over here, small plot, no? Yeah, you can usually find one of these little, oh, here's a large plot. One of these little for sale signs, this land for sale. And you can buy that. Now, the land for a large plot, if you want to buy it, you want to build on it, you can instantly see what you can build on it, first of all. On a large plot, you can build a couple more bigger houses than in a small plot. So you have the ale house, the bakehouse, the butcher, blah, blah, blah. On the small plot, on the other hand, if we wanted to go to one of those, this one here, you have a much more limited number of items or buildings that you can actually build. So the learning hall, the den, the shed, the woodcutting hut, the mine, the trading post, the hut, basically just this is what we already have, a butcher's house, bakehouse, and a flour mill. So depending on what you want to do, what level you are in the game, and where you want to progress, what kind of business you want to build, or what kind of house you want to build, you have to decide whether you want a small plot or the large plot. Obviously, there are more smaller plots than there are large plots, and they will be grabbed up by NPCs if they are available. NPCs will try and buy plots, and if they have the wood and the money, they will develop it. So if you are building your own village, then you can also just wait for these NPCs to snatch up some land and then develop it themselves. I don't know if I actually did any work. I will get paid eventually. I'm not quite sure how much, but we will see. Alright, so once there we go, 100 wages. We got 100 more, beautiful. 100 silver plus the 118 silver that we're going to get for rental income. It's going to be great. So let's go to our house that we have and see what we can develop here. If we wanted to develop it, we got 318 coin, beautiful. Now 80 is going to be taken off for taxes at 1 a.m. It'll be in a bit. We'll see that go off. Boop. Come on, there we go. Almost, there it is. So we are back up to 238 coin, which isn't that bad. So if we wanted to develop our little hut, You could build a butcher's here, a bakehouse, a flour mill, a mine, a trading post, a woodcutting hut, a shed, den, or a learning hall. Depending on what we have in silver, so this will cost us 570 silver. Now let's see if we want to go to, this is for a bakehouse, for instance, but if we were to go to a small plot that wasn't developed already, right, this would cost 1500 silver and 15 wood. So having a hut that's already been developed, we already paid 900 coin for this, by the way. So this plot costs to buy, well, you can't say that right now, but it would cost us like 600 coin to build, to buy. And then if you wanted to develop it into a hut, you'd have to pay 300 silver. So it will be the same price. So 900 silver for this plot without any upgrades. So the amount of money that we paid for this one, which is 900, is basically the same as developing a undeveloped plot to a new house, a new hut, and then we would have the same thing. So, but if you were to go to upgrades and add an upgrade, for instance, then we were to sell it, we could sell this hut for 1530 silver. That would be a little bit more, because it can take into account the cost of those upgrades, which add value to the house. Now, if we were to then do some development here, for instance, and we wanted to develop a bakehouse, we would have to have 570 silver and 5 wood. Now, you can get wood from the market. You can also chop trees and collect those woods yourself, the wood that you need for this house. Or you can just simply, what you would call it, steal it. You can also just go to one of these houses and steal the wood from there. If you can find some houses with some, you can always peek in a hut. You can always peek into this hut, for instance, here. Wait, what am I doing? I need to keep working. You're now level 2 in oats. And let's just keep working this field. I'm not going to actually get any of these oats that I'm producing in this field. I will just only get the salary. Now, of course, the chances of you getting sick while working at this field is kind of high, because if anybody from this field, like this person over here, is also sick, I'm not quite sure who he is, but if that person is also sick, there's a chance that I will get sick. Now, I am now currently with 3% full on my stomach. I don't have any food on me, which is kind of bad. My immunity is decreased. I cannot leave my work and do anything else. I have to wait until the end of the day, which is, of course, at 3 p.m. So in a couple hours, then I can go get something to eat, and then I can restore my health situation. I'm also tired now as well. It is just, it's impossible to work here. I can't sleep enough, because I have to walk all the way back home and then back to this in the next morning. So I think I'm going to have to quit this work. But we'll have to see. I can also always quit the job if I have by pressing the negative button on the field what I'm working at. So I can also then continue my work. When my work for the day is finished, let's go ahead and let's go and eat something. So if I go to that's the wrong one, the map, I want to go and get something to eat. Where is it? I can go and harvest or forage at this wild vegetable patch. I need to go do that right away because I need food, and I need food right now. So we'll just follow him. I can also quit my job on my own status page. So this little button for quit job is also available when you select your character. Go to this button, and then you'll also be able to quit your job. We'll just keep my job for a little bit, and then we'll go and take a quick little resty poo. Right now, I'm just making sure that we have enough material to sustain us for a couple more days. Now, you don't have to necessarily work at the field, but the getting a job function is kind of random. It just pushes out a request for a job map-wide, and then you will get the job assigned to you that is available at that time. Now, of course, there are possibilities that there are no jobs. That's definitely a possibility. And then in that case, you won't be able to get a job, and you will have to go find something else yourself. Now, of course, not all businesses will be full of employees. There's always going to be another a business that has a little spot available. But the longer you play the game, the bigger the chances that all the businesses will be saturated. So you want to see if you can get a job early on, and then see if you can get as much money collected as possible to buy your own business, and then work that business instead. But we'll see if that happens. We now don't have any more ability to buy any more houses, which is a bit of a shame. But that's mainly because we are a Kotsetla class with our standing with the king. So if we want to keep or increase our standing for the king, we want to get as good a relationship with the king as possible. To do that, we will need to either fight some bandits or sell products to a merchant. Like for instance, over here we have the merchant camp. This merchant camp is currently looking for. So this is not an army merchant camp. So we need to have an army merchant camp. There's no army merchant camp here, so we can't sell anything to them. Usually, so now and then a merchant camp from the military, from the army, would pass by, or even a couple of army soldiers would set up camp here, and you can sell products to them. And depending on what they actually need and what you can sell to them, your standing will increase. We got a little bit more wages, beautiful. We have 338 coin, which is ready for the silver from the rental income. And then we can go ahead and make some more money. Let's go ahead and rent out our hut that we have right now. I don't want to upgrade it any further. I think that'll be fine. We can upgrade that into a tanning rack. Let's go ahead and do that. It's going to cost us a little bit of money, particularly since we didn't pay our silver, but it's fine. We should be okay. Let's go and set up our rental management. We can rent it out for 92 silver. So let's go ahead and offer for rent. Beautiful. There we go. And let's see if we can get a family to come and live in our little hut as soon as possible. And once we have that, we'll be able to get another additional 90 coin on top of our 118 coin in rental. New tenant. Eolinda and family have moved into one of your houses. They will pay 92 silver per day. Beautiful. So now we have a total of 210 silver per day that we are getting, even though we actually don't have any businesses, or we're not even doing anything. So we can basically lay back, hunt, train, be a watchman. For instance, if you want positions of power, you can now also apply for a watchman position, and then go around and fight. This is the best way and the fastest way to increase your standing with the king. And of course, there is a chance that you will get sick, you get damaged, you get poisoned, or you will simply die in a raid. But you have to protect your assets anyway. So being a watchman is then a little bit easier. I hope this was a little bit more explanatory. If you have any more questions or comments and stuff, I'd put that down below in the remarks in the comment section, and I will try and answer whatever you have. Otherwise, join our Discord and you can ask whatever the hell you want there. For now, that's it for this episode, this tutorial. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a like. If you didn't, like this, fine. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.